But when we discuss matters of influence and what we should believe and what we should find to be a lie, it's all being muddled. This fog of war that we're in, the storm that we're in right now, is very real. Things are going to get volatile. I want to be as optimistic as possible for 2023. I hope everybody has a fantastic year, no matter who you are, no matter what your political views are, your racial ethnicity. I hope that this year is a year filled with truth and understanding and love for you and your family, so that you may be able to have eyes to see and ears to hear in these difficult times that we face. Now we have all these like mainstream distractions going on. I could not be more appalled at just the boneheaded psyop going on between Greta Thunberg and Andrew Tate. I think it's the most retarded thing ever. Grown men getting on the internet and shilling for a guy that has 33 cars, that doesn't care about you, doesn't care that you exist, takes your money, robs you, and a year later you're living the same way that you did when you signed up for his bro boy, how to get rich like class. I've never trusted Andrew Tate, never cared for the guy, never even watched really anything on him. I already knew what he was. He's a little bro boy, and he has like this financial bromance with a bunch of like simps who could kind of be alpha in a certain way, but for the most part they're not, because if you were an alpha, you wouldn't have to subscribe to the doctrines of somebody else. You'd just go out and do it yourself. And for the people who support Greta Thunberg, for the grown men who are supporting Greta Thunberg, please grow up, because you look almost more retarded than Andrew Tate simps. Because both sides of the aisle, I think they're both just equally dumb, subverted. This is all a distraction. You should be paying attention to real events, real proceedings, not what some dickhead has to say, or some deranged little girl from Sweden who clearly needs a lot of help. All of that is bullshit too. Climate change is nonsense. These people are basically creating this little cultural battle in front of you. So you argue about who's more genuine and who's more correct. And at the same time, the world is melting around you in much more fundamentally significant ways. And we're here trying to debate about whether Andrew Tate is this person or not, or whether Greta Thunberg is this person or not. Like, I can't even believe that this is a debate or a conversation right now in 2023, when you have the United Nations sending in troops under the guise of illegal immigrants. You have omnibus bills being passed that do not represent the interests of the people. You have all this garbage going on. You have Balenciaga's crap getting thrown in your face. You have more fraudulent politicians that are shilling for like unilateral interests that do not represent anything that would help the people, ordinary everyday citizens such as myself, anybody who's watching this right now. There's subversion, there's distractions, and there's shell games going on. You're living in a fraudulent system right now that has been set up by people who you thought were your heroes and are not. Okay? So, going forward, stop lending credulence to the very cronies that are responsible for that of your indentured servitude. It's getting ridiculous. And we're attacking all these people because what? They're coming out and bringing truths. I don't really care for that Elon guy either. And as far as the Twitter files are concerned, I don't really think anything's going to materialize. They've already dismissed you as a disinformationalist and a terrorist if you don't believe the official narrative of what's going on. That's also equally repugnant. And going forward, I think that as people who seek truth, as people who seek light and do not want to partake in the biggest psychological con game in human history, then, getting off mainstream media is for you. Getting outside and working out every day is for you, because now Time Magazine has said that any white male who works out as a white supremacist. That's the time that you're living in. That's the clown world that you're living in. So you need to wake up, really smell the coffee, and recognize that we're in a very big storm, and the storm has no mercy for anybody who loves liberty, freedom of speech, justice for all. This is what this storm is. It's coming for everything that is pure, true. They're coming for your weapon systems. They're coming for anything that could allow you to not be controlled by the meritocracy, by the birth control, not the birth control, the birth certificate system. You're being controlled by Jesuits and Freemasons. You always were. It's up to you to do the research outside of watching anything that I have to say. Don't listen to me because, I'm just an ordinary person like anybody else who's trying to bring forward all this stuff. It's your responsibility to do your due diligence and to understand that what I'm saying is publicly accessible information. And if you try to tell yourself it's not, it's because you've deceived yourself. You see so many people that still wear masks in cars, the people who got vaccinated. I'm sorry, I know that you wanted to keep jobs or careers, or you wanted to keep something on an even keel, but what you didn't keep on an even keel was my freedom and national sovereignty and basically accepting the thing has really, it's been a death sentence in terms of freedom, individual liberties, the right to choose what you consume and what you don't consume. So going forward, I think that it's very important for you to realize that you see this tie that I'm wearing right here? This is actually just a symbol of the Washington Monument. And the Washington Monument it's 66.6 feet high, and it's like 666 cubic meters in diameter, whatever the unit of measurement of girth is. But it's the penis of Osiris, who is the Egyptian god of the underworld. See, we could get into way more than just this. We can get way more in depth about what I'm saying, what I'm touching upon. And a lot of people are going to have a hard time accepting this, especially people who want to simp for Andrew Tate, who doesn't even care that you're alive. He just wants to take your $33 and do like the Freemason stuff because his parents were in the CIA. He's another form of controlled opposition. He's another side to this whole thing. And that's what many people are failing to realize. And it's very irritating to the rest of us who want to go forward as a free people, because we haven't been free for a long time. We've been owned by England since 1871. And now it's all coming out, and the news won't report on anything that has to do with the big issues in our world. The Black Book, the island, the guy that set everybody up to get blackmailed. That's very real. That's why you see politicians going in the directions they're doing. Most of them are controlled by the World Economic Forum. And it is your responsibility as an American citizen to do your research, stop watching CNN. I'd say even stop watching most of Fox News. They're just owned by